The universe, with its endless expanse of stars, planets, and other celestial objects, has always captivated our imaginations. As human beings, we love to relate cosmic phenomena to our own lives and experiences. But what if we considered whether stars or planets could experience something as uniquely human as hiccups? It's a curious question, to be sure, and while it might initially seem whimsical, there's a deeper scientific exploration that can arise from it. So, let's dive into this intriguing concept, blend a little imagination with science, and explore the nature of stars and planets, and whether the curious phenomenon of hiccups has any place in the cosmos. What are hiccups? Before we can wonder if stars or planets might experience hiccups, we need to understand what hiccups are. In simple terms, hiccups occur when the diaphragm, a muscle at the base of the lungs, contracts involuntarily. This causes a sudden, sharp inhalation of air, followed by a closing of the vocal cords, which produces the distinctive hic sound. Though hiccups are most commonly associated with humans, some animals like frogs, cats, and even elephants are known to experience them too. Hiccups typically arise due to various triggers, such as overeating, drinking carbonated beverages, excitement, or sudden changes in temperature. They're generally harmless, although they can occasionally become chronic, which can indicate a more serious medical issue. Now let's explore if stars can get hiccups. Stars, the colossal balls of hot gas that light up our night sky, are vastly different from humans. They are not living organisms and, in the strictest biological sense, cannot experience involuntary contractions of the diaphragm because they don't have a diaphragm or any of the structures required for hiccups. However, stars do have their own unique behaviors and fluctuations that might, metaphorically speaking, resemble hiccups. One of the most interesting phenomena that stars experience is solar flares. These are powerful bursts of radiation that occur when magnetic fields on the surface of the sun suddenly snap and reconnect. Solar flares release an immense amount of energy, causing the star to temporarily shine brighter. This event is somewhat akin to a sudden, involuntary burst of energy, which could be loosely compared to the way hiccups are sudden and involuntary in humans. Another phenomenon that could be thought of as a hiccup in a star's life is stellar pulsations. Many stars, particularly those that are unstable in their later stages of life, can undergo periodic swelling and contracting. This is due to changes in the balance between the pressure exerted by the star's radiation and the force of gravity pulling it inward. This pulsation can cause the star to expand and contract over a regular period, which might, in a poetic sense, resemble the rhythmic nature of hiccups. These stars are referred to as variable stars, and their oscillations are a natural part of their evolution. But as fascinating as these phenomena are, it's important to remember that a star's hiccup is not quite the same as a human hiccup. A star's pulsation or flare is a complex process governed by the physics of high-energy plasma and magnetic fields, while a human hiccup is a brief, involuntary muscle spasm. Can planets get hiccups? Planets, on the other hand, are solid spherical bodies that orbit stars, and like stars, they are not living beings, so they cannot experience hiccups in the same way that humans do. A planet doesn't have a diaphragm or any biological systems that would allow for a contraction of muscles. However, there are still phenomena that could be seen as a sort of planetary hiccup if we stretch our imaginations a bit. One of the most prominent hiccup-like events that occurs on planets is planetary quakes, or more formally, planetary seismic activity. Earth, for instance, experiences earthquakes when tectonic plates shift or collide. These shifts release energy in the form of seismic waves that ripple through the planet's crust, much like the sudden movement of air in a hiccup. While not analogous in every way, a earthquake or seismic event could be imagined as a hiccup in the structure of a planet, a sudden, unexpected shaking or movement. Additionally, the rotation of planets is not always as smooth as we might imagine. Some planets experience rotational irregularities, such as wobbling or precessional shifts. Earth, for instance, has a gradual shift in its rotational axis known as axial precession, but it can also experience sudden shifts, especially in response to large geological events or changes in its orbit. These shifts could be interpreted, in a very loose sense, as hiccups, as they cause sudden deviations in the planet's motion or behavior. Perhaps the most compelling example of a planetary hiccup might come from the way planets interact with their moons. Some planets, like Saturn, experience tidal locking with their moons, causing rhythmic patterns of gravitational interaction. These interactions can produce occasional short bursts of energy or slight wobbles in the planet's orbit, which could be seen as a form of hiccup, a brief, unexpected movement. The human element. Why do we wonder about this? At the core of this fun, thought-provoking question about stars and planets getting hiccups is a desire to connect the vast, incomprehensible universe to our human experience. We look to the stars and planets and imagine that, like us, they might have some quirky, unexpected behavior that mirrors our own. Humans, with our tendency for anthropomorphism, attributing human traits to non-human things, often apply our own behaviors to objects or phenomena we don't fully understand. The idea of stars or planets hiccuping allows us to creatively engage with the universe in a way that is familiar, comforting, and humorous. It's a way of saying if these massive, powerful celestial bodies could have one little human-like quirk, what would it be? The act of assigning human-like characteristics to the cosmos can help us process the awe-inspiring, unfathomable nature of the universe. Conclusion: the universe's hiccups. In reality, stars and planets cannot get hiccups in the way humans do. Stars may experience flares, pulsations, or changes in their energy output, while planets might have seismic activity or rotational irregularities. But these events are governed by the laws of physics, not biology. Still, it's fun and thought-provoking to imagine that, in some way, the universe could have its own kind of hiccup. Perhaps the stars and planets are just like us in one respect. They're unpredictable, full of surprises, and subject to forces that we are still trying to fully comprehend. So while they may not get hiccups in the traditional sense, they certainly have their own rhythms, bursts, and irregularities that make the universe as mysterious and fascinating as ever. And that in itself is a kind of cosmic hiccup, an unexpected, wondrous moment in the grand, uncharted dance of the cosmos.